inside their own base, not even needing a tower, not even needing a creep wave, and GG! Navi will break the DreamLeague first and take for the first time ever their title.
Welcome back to the ASUS ROG DreamLeague for the final day of week 2. And today's matches are going to be Evil Geniuses, first up against Sigma. And that'll be the first time we see Team EG play. Sigma desperately need a win. Next is going to be another EG game, but this time versus Cloud9, a rematch from the Monster Invitational where EG beat out Cloud9. So we should have a great game for the second one. And last, Virtus Pro against Empire. And after Virtus Pro's win yesterday, we'll see if they've got any momentum to take down Empire, who are currently 2-0. And joining me at the panel, first off, is Bruno. Hello, Bruno. Very nice shirt that you're wearing there.
Thank you very much.
Is it a corset? Is it a shirt? I'm not sure.
I just want to lose weight, so I'm doing this technique where I put something that's really, really tight down there.
I don't know if you guys know this, but Bruno buys a lot of interesting shirts from all over the world. This one came in from China. He ordered it in extra large.
Yes.
And
now I look like I'm on the wrong side of the entertainment industry.
Or the right side.
Like reality TV dancing, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, of course. All right, also with us, our commentators, the duo to start with, is Lumi and Andy. How are you going? How's it going, boys?
Good.
Just that's it. That's I can't. Are those supposed to be like, you know, dandelions? So they get those little fuzzy things that fly off of them. That's what I think
you
of when I
allergic
look
to me?
at that shirt.
Is that what you're saying?
I could be. I do have allergies. I don't actually know for sure.
Well, we can try later.
We can try later. And Andy called him the third wheel in the commentary team. It's Shane.
Cold, Andy.
That sounds like something I would say, to be honest.
No, you
I can't even say.
Actually, Andy's actually like the nicest guy in the world. He just hides really, really well.
Right. No one really believes that, Shane.
I couldn't even hold it in. I'm sorry.
It's definitely a possibility. All right, so of course, just want to say thanks to the sponsors again, as we do every show, just so they make sure that we know we're super happy to be here. It's Rocket and ASUS, and there's a Rocket competition going on for you guys this week over on facebook.com/Rocket. Head over there, you can vote for your MVP. You're probably going to want to get that in by the end of today, because that's when all the games of the week have been played. Last week there was a GTX graphics card from ASUS that was given away. This week it's a Rocket Glow keyboard. So head over to facebook.com/Rocket. With that being said, yesterday was pretty awesome. Any MVPs from yesterday?
Even though they didn't win, Quakefa for me.
Yeah, apparently, he was post-op, drugged up.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
So remember when he blinked and he never force-staffed? You
Oh,
kind of believe he was like...
He made some huge plays though.
Yeah.
Like even though he was doped because
Yeah, he was doped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did he have surgery on?
I don't know.
We don't know. But that's what Bulba said, because like Bruno asked Bulba, is like, was Quofa mad when you all got like static stormed and stuff? He was like, nah, man, he was too like drugged up to even notice. So what we think, when he blinked into the tree line and then just stood there, I reckon he just thought he was home. Like he was like, I TP'd, and then just
That's very good.
Yeah.
It makes it so much better though. Like, he played so good, and he was just like a kite the whole game.
The highest farmed for a long time.
Well, he was the second
he was the highest something.
Yeah, he was.
Okay,
Got him.
But yeah, either way. So yeah, yesterday's games were definitely pretty good. I wouldn't say it was the best plays of the day, but there were certainly a lot of entertaining throws. It all started off with Fnatic against Virtus Pro. And Virtus Pro, this one was the surprise of so far the tournament, I would say, because VP took out Fnatic.
Yeah, it was quite a shocker, to be honest. I still don't agree with the Morphling pick in that game. As we saw right there, Artsart actually, I think, first blooded Era in 1v1 because the support was pulling, probably some miscommunication. She played an exceptional game as well.
He skilled late and had the no mana.
Yeah. I mean, there wasn't much to say for Fnatic this game, honestly. Like, everyone just did poorly. It was just a very, very one-sided game in favor of VP, which, like you said, pretty shocking. And then
this TP from Dazzle, oh my god.
Yeah, this is pretty much where the game just took a massive turn for the worst. And this wasn't even that late in. I still think it was like prior to like 15 minutes, maybe even before like 12 minutes or something like that. And you just have these turnarounds and you can't really come back from it. Bleep, bleep.
Yeah, it's nice to see Dazzle getting more and more play these days. Yeah. How do you see him as a hero?
I think he's ridiculously good, especially when you're playing against a team that has early game aggressive potential, especially if you're playing like a support Dazzle, because say you get level 3, some people go like 2-0-1, some people go 1-1-1. I personally prefer the latter, but you can always TP to towers and have that kind of reaction where it's like early on, like sub 10 minutes, it's very dangerous to dive towers. So even in circumstances where you have heavy roaming, like say you dodge each other's lanes and you have supports moving around the map, Dazzle can counter just by himself what some heroes can't as two. Yep. So I think he's really strong in that role.
Yeah, and VP's Drow, Illidan played Drow. Lumi, how did that go?
Well, we were saying that he even
Aura,
messed up the Drow build.
You don't skill Aura. I mean, you do get it eventually.
You do, but
you
get
Max
Frost Arrow.
You get 1 point, right? Because the first point, I think it ends up being like 26 total agility that you gain, like in benefit on damage.
Right.
But the first rank is still exceptionally good. Then it scales by 4, right?
Yeah.
It's like 4%, so yeah, it would be 14.
And I think towards the end of the game, we had issue with his item builds. BKB wasn't necessary. We talked about
he didn't need it, but it didn't matter either.
Yeah, it didn't matter. So his team played so well, he played so well that it didn't matter what he got at the end.
Should have gone Blink Dagger, right?
Maybe.
I mean,
it's a good item.
See, the argument is, if you get a Blink Dagger on that hero and you're positioned well, you don't need a BKB because it's more expensive, and sometimes it can actually not even save you against some teams. So,
Shane, you agree? Blink Dagger?
Yeah, I like Blink Dagger on Drow, to be honest. It's pretty cool, because especially a hero that has such a problem with people being so close to him, if you can blink away just in them clutch situations, it makes a big difference. All
right, well, they did win, so they certainly did play well to take down Fnatic. Next up was Alliance versus Team Liquid. Team Liquid's first game in the ASUS ROG DreamLeague. Fnatic yet to be beaten, and that story was going to continue here as they, I wouldn't say wiped the floor with Liquid, but certainly the early rotations from Ake and also getting the first courier kill here with the troll from downtown pretty much set the tone of the game.
Yeah, it really did. And this is another attempted gank where they try to go for EGM and they don't even get it.
All the heals in the world.
It just, they couldn't get anything going. That was the moral of the game. It just felt like a team divided, basically.
You know, when they went with everything to take one here, and there was always EGM with the Dazzle throwing that shallow grave, and the heroes would survive long enough for the battle to be lost. Yeah. So, yeah, nothing that they could do. That Slard pick, never doing anything.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I just wanted to butt in terms of S4's performance on Mirana that game.
It was great.
Not a lot of us have seen it. You know, I'm curious to see how he's going to do because I've never seen him play Mirana personally.
I think it was definitely good. Would you say great?
Yeah. It was good.
Yeah,
it definitely was good. But I don't know,
there wasn't any testing moment to see how great he was. So it was just a coasting game.
There's a couple of really good arrows, though.
Yeah.
Mirana is one of those kind of like, how far can you push the limit heroes when it comes to the fights? Because she can move a lot, she can do a lot of damage as she gets in the right position. But at the same time, if you play too passively, you feel useless in the team fight. And if you play too aggressive, you just get blown up. So it's all about getting the right kind of pace to the game. But yeah, speaking of teams divided, we went over to the last game, which was Team Liquid against Fnatic. And Liquid, despite this is a game that I felt they could have won at some moments. It was literally just a lot of throws from either team.
This is the throw of throws.
Yeah.
Like up until this point, there had been a lot of back and forth action.
That was right after the
Look at Bulba. Bulba is completely separated from the
team.
team.
Hug.
Well, I mean, and everyone tries to get there, and the clock just.
Boba felt really bad about that play. He was messaging me afterwards. Did I bait my team into that? Because he jumped in. But I think the correct response is he jumped in and suicidally
ignores him.
Ignores him and hit the tower.
Yeah.
I think that was the correct response.
This really was, I feel like, an overexcited moment from Team Liquid. There was no thought process going in, and you kind of have that situations in games where you like win a big team fight, you get a lot of momentum.
They got the ages before this.
You feel like you can do anything, and you walk in, and Bulba's like, he probably didn't want his team necessarily to follow, but just because of how they were in that moment, they literally were like, "We're going to help you." Oh dear, that is not a good idea.
Yeah, and it's important to note for anyone who didn't actually see the game, at that point, I believe the Disruptor had Aghanims too.
Yep.
So you couldn't BKB, you couldn't do anything, you just died.
Yeah, No-Tail got his Ags and even had a buyback available, but, Koifa went in, harassed a little bit.
Right.
Went out. But Bulba was like, I'm going in.
Yeah.
And he was.
I think it would have been okay. Like, I wouldn't have minded him just soaking up damage and suiciding, even just for a tower. Because as soon as that tower went down, they had a lot of room to play with.
They had Luna. The Glaives were going to do the rest. So
like TC didn't. I wouldn't say he had a bad game, but TC didn't have any kind of good setups for him in fights. There was no position that he was sat in where he was like a monster to deal with. He struggled against the Naga illusions. Which was from
Hani.
Yes, and you need to get your Luna in good positions. So. Unfortunately, even though the axe, as Bulba mentioned, was kind of like axe similar as a Magnus, because when he blinks taunts, it's like an RP. And that was where Luna really became strong in the Chinese scene when people were playing her a lot with the Magnus, just because the Magnus gets her into the fights and into position, but the axe wasn't able to just because of Hani's Naga. But overall, what did you think of yesterday's games?
I thought the VP upset was obviously unexpected. I didn't really think they were going to do well at all against Fnatic, given the play that they've been showing, recently. But they definitely surprised. The Liquid game where they played against Fnatic, I was really thinking that Liquid were going to take it when they were pushing down middle, because that one fight they got a pick, they get Roshan, all of a sudden another turnaround. So yesterday was a lot of unpredictability. I think there was only one game that went the way that I thought it would.
The first 15 minutes of the Liquid game were chaotic as hell as well.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, it was awesome.
There was a lot of points in the game where Sam was just like in the woods by himself, and he would just like taunt through people and kill two and die.
But that's because
crazy.
he's a spin lord.
He's a space creator.
He's a space creator.
It's important, man. You need those.
Yeah, I want to be a spin lord like Sam when I grow up.
Dude, I see a lot of people play Axe now. Heck, Wepas played Axe in a game before we came over here. He was not a spin lord.
He was
like the opposite of a spin lord, man. Like he would get hit like 30 times and just not spin. It wasn't good.
Well, either way, speaking of space created, over in the standings, we've got some teams creating a lot of space, mainly Alliance, separating themselves from the pack with a 4-0 after yesterday, and continue to be undefeated, which is pretty damn impressive. Na'Vi winning 3, only losing 1 versus Team Empire, who have also yet to lose a game and will be playing today, so we'll see how they do. Fnatic, I still feel, are going to come in top 6 maybe, but they're going to be one of the later teams to get there.
Well, you have to think that they already played half their matches.
Yeah, you get 12 games total.
Yeah, so they're third now, but they will be not third by the end of the week, I think.
Yep, and Cloud9 will be playing today as well. They're currently 1-0. Rock's Kiss, we're going to see a little bit more from them next week, and they won't be playing today. And at the bottom still sits Meet Your Makers and Team Liquid, who are 0-2 after yesterday's performance. And Sigma today really have a chance to bring a well-needed win to their roster as they go up against EG first. And that will be actually starting around about 7 o'clock. The players have scheduled it just a little bit later. So whether or not we go to a break or we come back or whatever we want to do, who knows? But they'll be kicking off at 7. And then at 8 o'clock will be Evil Geniuses versus Cloud9. And last, as we mentioned, is going to be Virtus.pro against Empire. So Virtus.pro and Sigma desperately need their wins today.
But what a game, that second one. I'm really looking forward to it. EG versus Cloud9, a classic right now, even though
they played that best of 5 on the weekend.
They played that best of 5, the Monster Invitational. They're like, there's this history of Arteezy having played for Cloud9 before, and now he's playing on EG. Who's the best? Arteezy 100% on LAN.
Yeah, man.
Let's see what happens.
He's got an MLG now, a Monster Invitational.
Yeah. Let's see if he can get DreamHack Summer as well.
Yeah, that would be pretty impressive. But he's definitely been a great pickup for them. Him and Fear seem to work really well together as well as the rest of the team. But before we go into today's match and introduce the players, Bruno, how's the Compendium looking?
Compendium is looking really well. We're on $185,000. That means 85,000 extra over the price pool of 100,000. Yesterday we showed the Forge Spirit preview. It's also been on Reddit. People seem to like it very much. Fortunately, if they didn't like it, we'll have to start all over again and maybe have the rewards by May. Speaking of rewards, we're hoping that we will be able to roll out. This is just like now up to Valve whether they decide to put the ones that are in. The chainsaw is ready and they have all the files. We're thinking maybe we'll add, not this week, but maybe we'll add the Forge Spirit first and the rest of the Invoker set so that people have something to play with and see the Forge Spirit when it's done.
Okay.
And then, of course, the Battle Bonus should come probably this week. The Gem, hopefully, also coming this week. And the HUD and loading screens pending. But they will be.
Just vote for Bruno and he'll make it happen. How much is the minimum prize money for each team now in the?
It's actually almost $5,000.
It's pretty insane.
Yeah. That's $1,000 per player if you think about it.
Yeah.
That's more than most tournaments give.
Yeah. Well, that's the interesting thing is that if you're first place right now, you increase. It used to be
40,000.
40,000. Now it's something like 60,000 almost. Mm-hmm. So it's a 50% increase. But if you're sixth place, which normally you don't
100% increase.
No, it's like 300% increase, really, because it used to be like 3.5k, and now sixth place gets something like 10k.
Yeah. But I really like the prize distribution. I mean, the teams, just for being in the league, have given us a lot of entertainment and content, obviously, within Dota 2. So
and they also get part of the revenue from the stream as well.
Yeah, so DreamHacker being awesome there. So certainly it's nice to see everybody get something and hopefully motivates them for the next DreamLeague. If it comes back, of course, you probably have to thank mainly me via Twitter, and I'll see if I can make it happen. All right, so what time are we now? Oh, okay, well, good. We're only like 10 minutes away. We made that segment last longer. Actually, I was kind of spacing out a little bit during that segment. I was like, have I done standings before? Because we do them in rehearsals. And I was like, did I? I'm not sure. But I have seen this team before, and it is Sigma. It's Shoshka, Fata, Miguel, Fucking Mad, and Paz. Currently,
they are the 0%.
Yeah, they are the 0%. Way cooler than the 1%. And Paz is one of the support players so far. How's he been doing for you, the commentators?
I don't know. It's really hard for him to shine because a lot of the time they get some kind of draft where he's in a position that's kind of set up to not do well, or they have a bad early game, and then support's in that role. When you're having a bad early game and you're a support, you just like, you can't do anything.
You're pretty much, you sit back and rely on can you defend a team fight.
Right.
Yeah, so it's not really been much he can do. He's not been given an opportunity to shine, in my opinion.
Which, to segue off of that, I think there is one of the prediction today. Who's going to get the lowest GPM?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think Paz might be a good candidate.
Paz is
is this the Compendium?
Yeah, so we have three bets for this first match. It's 3 bets for every single match. One that's in every match, which is going to win, obviously, worth 2 points. And the other 2 worth, I think, 5 points each, is who's going to have the least GPM.
Yeah.
And the other one is which player is going to destroy the first tower.
Okay.
Now, hope that the player destroys the first tower, because if it's a creep, no one wins. So, no, it's true.
Oh.
It was on purpose. Because, I don't know, it felt
Could you not vote for creeps?
No, you couldn't.
No.
I was thinking,
Why not?
I put it, and they're like, you know what? No. You wouldn't vote for creeps.
I reckon the creeps would get more votes than
no, you are a
players.
creep. That's different.
Sometimes, Bruno, when I play games, especially with the Good Studio, creeps are my only allies. And the neutrals are just bribeable. They're like mercenaries.
That hurts here.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what I'm saying, guys. You guys leave me alone against a wisp. What do you expect? You expect me to win that lane? No. Hopefully, though, these guys can win that lane. It's Team Evil Geniuses, Fear on carry, Arteezy in a different color than everyone else, Universe playing for Dignitas, and also PPD. So, really young team accompanied by this man. A very experienced
Dragging
Dota player.
Average age up a little bit.
What a mag shot, by the way. What a mag shot.
Old man Dota.
Drunk and disorderly. We got this picture.
I don't know. It's more like drunk and ornery.
They probably just dragged them out of bed. It's like, all right, taking a picture now.
Yeah. Oh, you know that he actually has the fear set for the free-to-play movie. He already has it.
Yes.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not for
Let's see
sale.
that Sven.
Yeah, I want them to pick Sven now, just to see that.
There's also, is there a Dendi set for
Yeah,
that as well?
Dandy has it already as well
And
for
what's
patch.
Ice
And
Ice?
Ice Ice has a, oh wait. Doom, yeah, Doom set.
But there's no Doom in League of Legends, so.
Right, so it's not Ice Ice Ice, it's HY.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute, Ice.
Yeah.
I don't know.
was
Just
like-
I remembered Ice had an Invoker set and I thought that might have been part of it, but yes, HY.
HY.
He's in the army now, apparently.
Is he?
He's
Yeah.
in the Army of Legends.
No.
I heard it's coming back to
Just-
Dota 2. That's what I've heard.
Well, he also went immediately after that saying, yeah, I'm playing Dota 2 because it's a fun game, but that doesn't mean I'm going competitively.
Okay. Fair enough.
So maybe in the future, but not now.
That's kind of how I feel about playing Dota as well. It's like, it's fun and all, but I probably shouldn't be competitive.
kind of
It would be a
pre-professional.
little bit unfair
Yeah.
to you.
I mean, I'm like twice the age of fear. I just have 2 times the experience. I mean, and that's what he's got going for him. So
So you
I'm
start
just,
at level 5 on your heroes.
yeah, I really
because
do.
of how experienced you are.
Yeah.
That's
That's
good.
why I always go axe mid. It's like impossible to beat me. It's amazing. Actually, I did play axe mid once versus Andy, and I won.
Oh, wow.
you?
Yeah.
What was
We
he
actually-
playing? Like Leech?
Oh wait, was it you or Wagamama? No, it was
I was
Wagamama.
gonna say I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Kind of similar.
Yeah, well, no, Wagamama's easier. I mean, we tried to recruit Andy for Cupid Red Pandas, but he turned us down. He said he had better offers. He joined Virtus Pro. So either way, no, yeah, I beat Wagamama mid. He tried to dive me under towers on TA, and I was like,
Axe is actually
panic.
good
Does
against
really
TA,
well
though.
against TA.
Yeah.
It's a matchup advantage, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, there's the
yes.
set.
There's the set.
How pretty
cool.
it is.
That's cool.
That's
Yeah,
a big sword.
It's kind of like some sets
Wait,
I always
wait.
like
That
compare them to
animation
other
is-
games, but that actually kind of
Yeah.
looks.
Yeah, it has 4 new animations or something like that.
Damn.
Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty legit.
Who did the set?
I'm sorry.
Was
I
it
don't-
Valve? Was it?
No. It was. I know that Danny them did the Dandy set, and there were 2 other artists
Has the
that did
Dandy
the
set
Fear.
been shown yet?
Yes, on
Okay.
yeah. Cyberman showed him, and Dandy plays.
It has a little Dendy doll
Yeah, it has
on
a
his
little
arse.
doll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
And he also has a crow here. But you know-
crow?
Yeah.
Crow.
Crow. Crow.
Crow.
He has a whole
Crow.
Say
crew.
like O and then
Crew. I don't know.
Crow.
Too hard.
Crow.
He has a crow. A raven.
Oh.
What is it? A crow or a raven? They're
Like
clearly
really
different.
similar. Like, can you recognize a crow?
Can you
from that?
Google the difference between crows and ravens?
They're different birds.
I can't be asked to do that.
Thank you, Shane.
No problem. Didn't even need to Google it.
So they're both dicks.
Our
anyway.
wildlife expert there.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, Sven though doesn't really get much playtime.
Hey, you
He
got
was
played in
picked
Starlight
today, yeah.
Yeah, like an hour ago.
And
Sven gets a little bit of playtime. I don't know if you guys
But
saw.
he lost. He lost really hard.
Pretty
Yeah.
badly.
Yeah.
going back to the abyss of the never.
Do you remember when it was Fnatic that made that like ultra kill outside of Roshan with Sven?
Yeah, and also EG.
Fear,
The
with the
vacuum-
vacuum into the
vacuum,
one
yeah.
cleave.
I think I can't remember. I spoke to one of the teams and they were like, "Yeah, I didn't know what was happening. I just clicked the ground at the time because it's like hit the closest thing because you can cleave."
Hey.
Good hero.
Pyrion Flags first, and I think only Rampage ever.
No, he's got a few.
Wait,
Wasn't Sven.
he's got rampages?
Yeah, a few of them.
I
Some of them are-
remember like,
That's
he was just starting
It's
to play.
terrifying to think.
And he literally was just between his tier 1 and tier 2 tower, catching people, just A-clicking, not using stun, not using anything.
That's
And he
probably the
just
best hero to do it with, right?
Yeah.
Three
do-
double damage.
I do that with Luna as well.
Okay.
Admittedly.
You just press
I click
alt,
the ground.
and then
Because if you have to chase somebody, you're not getting damage. It's a nightmare. You can chase somebody when you know you're okay, but when you get down to like half life and you just need life still, you just like hit anything.
Same with Gyrocopter. You just click the ground and it's flak cannon everywhere. Like.
Yeah.
Laugh.
Good heroes.
Good heroes.
I like those heroes.
I lost
a lot.
to James Luna. It was a fucking sad day.
How dare you? What did you have?
Pretty easy.
I was queen.
Oh,
It
you
was
were
Queen of
queen.
Pain. It
was
Oh,
the
yeah,
staff cup.
I remember the staff cup. That was.
I was like
you were
40.
like 46-2 or something.
Yeah, it was something retarded.
Yeah, we wanted to give them, like, we were like, let's see how many kills we can give Andy and still beat them. And we were just like, this is getting ridiculous.
You lost with 46 and 2.
I think I
Yeah.
was like 43 and 3 or something.
Basically, what happened
Yeah,
was his Queen of Pain could destroy everyone in our team and no one could lock him down.
Yeah.
Like, there was no lockdown for him at all. And there was no lockdown for me, and I'm Luna. So every time he came to fight me, he'd be like, nope, run away. So he'd like hit me a few times, and then he'd just cheat me, and then I come back out and I'd like satanic and everything and butterfly. And then I start hitting him, he'd be like, "Yeah, fuck this." And he just like blink past me, destroy the whole team, and then I'm just stood there like hitting all his other. So it was like me chasing down all his teammates and him chasing down all mine. But my teammates were a little bit more, I would say, competent. And then at the end, we called a strat after they actually wiped us.
Yeah.
And I bought back, and I think it was it was someone on Wisp, and we actually backdoored them.
Yeah.
Before backdoor protection.
That was me. I'm an expert at backdooring.
It wouldn't have worked now. By the way, the game started, just so you know.
Well done, Shane. I'm glad someone got that dirty reference.
So I'm a filthy bastard.
All right, so we're going to be heading into the draft now.
Yeah, there's going to be
We're doing a remake afterwards.
Yeah.
Afterwards.
Okay.
So we're going to see the draft, then there's going to be a remake. The first match is, of course, going to be Team EG versus Sigma. Sigma need a win. They're currently 0 wins so far in the ASUS ROG DreamLeague, and this is EG's first game. So best of luck to both teams, and away with the draft.
All right, Evil Geniuses off their fresh win of the Monster Invitational.
Not too bad. Not too
too
bad.
bad.
It was decent, you know. Despite Cloud9's best efforts, they just couldn't get it done.
It wasn't their best effort.
Well, I think it was 4 of their members' best
Yes.
effort. Maybe one person didn't put in quite as much.
Yes. Well, no, I mean, nothing to well, we'll see that matchup later, so we'll talk about that in a bit. But
All right, good call.
what actually really impressed me is it used to, when they have a team with Fear, they always build around Fear.
Yeah.
Like Fear, the hard carrier, sometimes he plays support. But when they won the Monster Invitational, he played a safe lane bounty hunter. He was playing
Weaver.
a lot of times. He was in the carry. It was RTZ mid that transition into carry. It was more for Protect 1 for RTZ. And for such an experienced player to have that kind of trust for like a young all-star.
He was on like Lycan and characters like that.
Yeah. Well, Lycan was in jungle. So like RTZ actually put a lot of the weight of the team on his back, and he really carried. So good stuff from EG lately.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how they perform, especially since RTZ's on my fantasy team. It's important to note, man.
Is it?
It is.
Okay.
Why?
How do you think he'll do in this game?
Well, I mean, it's too easy. That's the thing.
Okay.
That's kind of the mantra, right? It's too easy for RTZ. But no, just in general, like his capability of space creation when he's in a game and he's mid, it's kind of similar to Havost, you know, when he plays carry. He does a little bit of unconventional things, but it always forces some huge reaction from the enemy team. And it's always just on team themselves to be like, okay, we can take advantage of this in some way, you know, push a tower, do whatever, smoke gank, Roshan, all sorts of different things. So.
He likes fighting more, does he? He's more of a fighting carry.
Yeah. I don't.
What are you pointing at?
Give me that.
Oh,
I'm
that.
confiscating it.
Got it. Okay. Why was it up there in the first place?
I don't know, but some voice in my head told me to get rid of it.
You shouldn't listen to them voices, man. They always tell me to do naughty
I got
things.
more than one.
Yes.
Anyway, so we see the first couple of bans coming out, EG. They go with the Ember and the Bane. Bane is not really surprising at all, actually, considering they're up against Sigma, who picks it in the first 2, I think, almost 100% of their matches?
I think I've seen nearly every team that plays Sigma either ban or pick Bane.
Yeah, but I don't think I've seen them play Ember. I mean, maybe they value the hero highly, just haven't had a chance to play it. I suppose these teams have probably scrimmed versus each other at some point. I just don't actually have any idea. Okay, I'm sorry. I just saw that on the preview monitor and I just had to pause. Anyway, but yeah, I don't think I've seen him play it.
Ember was a hero that was constantly banned from Monster Invitational because Cloud9 played a fairly good one. I think Team Liquid had an okay one. So maybe they were just like, hey, we don't have an answer for this hero. We don't play this hero well, so let's just get rid of it. Don't want to get taken.
They're not prepared for it. Like.
And actually, Sigma bans the Enchantress themselves. Aren't they like? Don't they have a fetish for Enchantress?
Yeah, I think it's fucking Mad's most played hero.
Yeah. So are they gonna go Chen here, or are they gonna do something very, very different?
Maybe it's time for a change. Maybe they don't want to play the way of old. Let's be honest.
Throw
Sigma
away the book, lads.
They haven't been doing well.
No, they have not.
So I don't really mind the fact that they might be taking a alternative path. Maybe we won't see some kind of early Pugna or Chen lineup like they usually like to do, or Enchantress, like you said, as well.
What has changed? Sorry, Shane.
What has changed? What?
For Sigma is that they got new T-shirts today.
Did they?
They posted on Twitter.
Huh.
Good T-shirts.
Are they nice?
They're okay. Better than Speed Gaming.
Oh,
Only
Okay, that's
can
not
move
saying
wrong.
much.
There you go. So maybe they win this game because new T-shirts.
Good to get Invoker.
Yeah, they always got an Invoker, but they haven't actually done much with it. So, sorry,
they?
Shane, you were saying something, and I just like totally cut you off.
It's alright. You take your hand off my leg.
Okay.
Wait till later. Wait till
Not
later.
right now, yeah, not right now. Come on.
We're on camera for. Well, we were on camera last night as well, but.
Yeah. But nobody needs to know that. It's between friends, okay?
Okay.
It's called experimentation. It's perfectly normal
We're young.
for people of our age.
For science.
Dear God, the ideas that people are probably getting right now. I don't even want to think about it anymore. And I'm pretty sure Bruno's tearing up over there. It's bad. Anyway, so Invoker Dazzle. I like it. I think that Invoker, especially given the fact that there's not really a whole lot of mids in the game who just flat out, beat him. I mean, you maybe have like OD or Sniper, something random like that. The only downside to him is that if you do end up playing it as Exort, which we saw the other day, I think Liquid did it when Bubble went mid on Invoker, it's very susceptible to any kind of roaming, which a Visage +1 can definitely do. So I'm kind of leaning more towards Sigma playing it as Quas Wex. I just have a feeling they're that kind of a team who relies more on the control than they do the sheer damage output. It just feels like that would be more suited to their style. So maybe we'll see something like that.
Speaking of roaming, Evil Geniuses is known to roam. Both PPD as well as Zai do a lot of early game roaming, especially during the mid game as well. One thing that impressed me about PPD watching him play like 6 or 7 games is that he somehow could get behind your tier 2 and tier 3 towers and drop an observer ward. And having that kind of vision for 7 minutes is just backbreaking. Really allows you to set up multiple ganks for your cores and whatnot. So look towards those 2 supports to make it big roams. And like you said, if you do go for that Exort build on Invoker mid, he is very susceptible to that.
Are we going to see the Sven?
I don't know if we're going to see Sven, but I know Universe... He probably has a love-hate relationship with this hero by now. He plays it so much, or at least he used to, especially when he was playing for Dignitas, but now it's like Darkseer is not one we get to see a whole heck of a lot anymore. He doesn't really give your team that much anymore, which is ironic because like a couple months ago, people were saying...
It was first ban, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was incredibly popular, especially in China. You have people like YYF who played the hero like incredibly well. He fed a lot, but he always managed to get like level 10 at like 8 minutes into the game. It was crazy.
Light of Heaven used to play him a lot as well.
Yeah, way back. Back when he was on Navi, actually, I think is when he played it the most. So we're going to get to see a few heroes that, well, maybe just one for the time being. That's a little bit unconventional.
What? All of these are quite conventional?
No, Darkseer is not conventional now.
I guess.
I don't...
When I think Universe, I just think Darkseer.
Really?
Well, no, I agree with that sentiment. I'm not saying for the player that
for the metagame.
Unorthodox. Yeah, I'm just saying for the current drafting style, it's just a little bit...
Maybe they've
strange.
more of a style where they say, oh, what are you comfortable with? What do you want to play in this game kind of thing? Like they ask each other.
I don't really think anybody ever has said that they want to play Darkseer. I mean...
Maybe Universe has.
That hero just really isn't that fun.
You put the Ion Gem on the creep and then you relax.
Actually, I take that back. We were at LAN. This was a team called Asians +1, I think. It was Fluff, me, Purge, Aosin, and Blitz. And we called them ourselves the Alliance of Amateur LANs because we were undefeated. And first game, Kevin, Purge was off lane. We asked him, what do you want to play? He's like, oh yeah, I want to play Darkseer.
There you go.
So Fluff picked him Darkseer for like...
Of course it was Kevin, man.
Yeah, 8 games straight, and he never wanted to play Darkseer again. So, back to you, Andy. Nobody wants to play Darkseer for more than once.
Nobody wants to play Darkseer, really. Especially because... Oh, you know what? Actually, I can think of a time where there was somebody who I was playing with who actually wanted to play Darkseer. No.
Period likes Darkseer a lot.
It was when we were playing the last Staff Cup, and we were picking Weaver for Scriff every single game. And then we get to another game, and he's like, man, I don't want to play Weaver again. Pick me another offlaner. And we're like, all right, I guess we'll pick you Darkseer. And then we ended up losing the game because we picked Darkseer, and we didn't take Weaver, and the other team did. Fucking Scriff. Anyway, he can't actually even hear me because he's doing the Swedish production. So
he's pretty sad about that.
Yeah. Well, I think he's just sad because he's with our,
Yeah, he likes ripping
our
out
house. Yeah. But you can see the draft is kind of unfolding here a tiny bit. They're taking quite a bit of time with the bans, to be honest. There's not really a whole heck of a lot to talk about in terms of that. It's just Luna's banned out. Disruptor also taken away. Understand that. Disruptor is fantastic against Darkseer. Well, let me rephrase. Disruptor is just a damn good hero all around, I think. We saw yesterday No Tail just destroyed people with his Disruptor. That was
disgusting. And especially when you get the Aghanims. Oh my god, I never really seen Aghanims on Disruptor that much.
Would you say it's a fair point to make about Disruptor that if you're very far behind, he's not a hero that could get you back? Or do you think
Disruptor, I think, is actually very good at making comebacks because typically when a team starts going high ground, there's a lot more room for error. So as soon as a team realizes that, hey, we messed up, we have to back now, Disruptor can punish that so easily.
Glimpse.
Yeah, so when you're
Kinetic
inside of your
field.
base, I think that hero is exceptional.
Okay. I just see that when Disruptor has that even edge, or when you're very far ahead, aka that game by No-Tail yesterday where he got that Acceptor, it's amazing.
It's both ends, honestly. Like, if you're ahead, it's the same as chasing, really. You see somebody, and maybe you have vision of them because it's daytime, but
Or when you have
no
Thunder
other,
Strike on them.
Right. No other hero can actually catch him but you because you have 1,800 glimpse range. So it works in both aspects. I just think the hero overall is very powerful. But Sigma are taking the very common Dazzle Ancient Apparition combo, which has proven to be quite powerful lately. You just die to the damage. You get Cold Feet, Poison Touch, Ice Blast, and it really hurts to
Sayonara.
continue fighting after that.
Yeah, impressively, as we see a Bat Rider pick into an Earthshaker, so that's
Yeah, that's
awkward.
weird.
Yeah, Ancient Apparition is one of the few supports that could single-handedly zone out Darkseer. You put a Chilling Touch on you, and you just start hitting the Darkseer. And Darkseer just have to run because you're taking so much damage. And hey-oh!
Pew 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 pew.
We're going to see some Arteezy Tinker. And I think the other day they ran a Tinker Bounty Hunter combo. Bounty Hunter being played
It's
by
really
Fear
good.
on a safe lane.
Yeah.
When we first saw it, I was like, we've never seen this before. What's going on? And once BOT came online for Tinker, my God, it's just fireworks all over the place.
So the bounty hunter scouts out the gank, and then Tinker all of a sudden comes out of nowhere. Like,
Well, it's not even just that. It's like Visage Birds with the Bounty Hunter, and you can bot to the birds, and then
Yes.
suddenly dead hero.
and also track as well. It gives you vision in the base if you're going high ground.
Yep. It's a kind of a spin on an old type of global strategy that used to involve Beastmaster, where you would just use the Hawk to teleport in with bots. But this is kind of the new age version, and honestly, I would say Visage is probably better for it because he doesn't have to put himself in harm's way to find the vision. And Bounty Hunter, most of the time, as long as you're being diligent about checking support inventories, doesn't have to either. So we'll see if they go Bounty. I don't think it's that bad here, just because the heroes on Sigma right now, none of them necessarily have any escape mechanisms at all. So if
Invoker.
you find those heroes, sure, but if you get tracked in your Quas Wex and you try to Ghost Walk, you'll get a little bit of bonus movement speed, but you get 20% bonus track speed anyway when you track the hero. So I don't know if it's going to be able to get him away from bad situations. So we'll see what Sigma's carry choice is going to be, and it's going to be Lycan. And you know what? I actually like that because I don't think EG can necessarily straight up fight that hero with their lineup as of right now. And I mean by that is, sure, the Tinker can spam March the waves, but eventually Lycan's gonna get to a point where he can still just pop BKB, book, and just kill a tower, you know what I mean? Like, who fights him?
Yeah, and when you want to dedicate your safe lane farm to a Bounty Hunter, against the possibility of a Lycan safe lane, that's... Lycan's going to out right-click you at the late game, and there isn't much a Tinker can do about it. You could perma-hex him all day,
There it
and
is.
it's going to be a Bounty Hunter. So, interesting draft. Seen it
Good
before.
call,
and-
David.
I mean,
Yeah.
seen it before, so it's not
You
really
still
me.
called, huh? Credit where credit's due.
All right. Thank you, Shane. Appreciate it.
And by the way, guys, we are going to be having a remake, so we're going to take a couple minute intermission and talk about the drafts, talk about what we think. I think that EG is going to run into issues with the Lycan, but I think overall, I like their draft more.
I think Ancient
can see
Apparition
that.
throws a spanner in the works for any team. Like the ulti just and the Kofi is just massive, like for any team. And they also have the Howl with the Forge Spirits if he goes Exhort. That's a lot of damage on the summons.
For me, I think the key for this game for EG is actually taking down mid-tier 1 tower. Because once you take down the mid-tier 1 tower, I guess the side tower as well, it really frees up where Bounty Hunter can go. It allows PPD to play the style that he likes to play, which is going behind the towers, dropping down a ward. So then you have the wards giving you sight, the Visage Bird giving you entryway for the Tinker, and you have Bounty Hunter coming in. In that game against Cloud9, Envy was playing a Drow, and that Drow just kept dying. Like, no matter where he went, talking to me afterwards, like, just didn't know where he could be ganked. And he could have been ganked everywhere. So that's kind of the power of that lineup when it actually clicks.
Yeah.
But in terms of, in that game, you kill a Drow, which is much easier to kill. Killing a Lycan's kind of a different beast, because you could ult and run away, hex or not. So it's kind of a different story here.
No, I definitely agree with that. The one thing that I'm worried about is when you have a team with a Tinker on it, usually you have one hero who can push out the waves and you have another hero who actually does significant damage to towers. But I don't really think that EG necessarily have that. It's just like, it's a team that can push waves, but can it kill the towers as early as you want them to kill them? That's my concern.
I don't think so. I don't think those tier 1 tower is going to be somewhat difficult to lock down.
So we have Bruno behind us blowing bubbles.
You're not even getting him high enough, man. Like
Come
this
on,
is.
put your back into it.
I don't even. Can you even see him on camera?
Yeah, you can, yeah.
I can't even tell.
Them cameras, they're super cameras.
I don't know. Oh yeah.
Whoop.
I feel like a Harlem Globetrotter. That one got really high.
Ah, my eyes!
Well done. Well done, Bruno. But we are in actually the next game. So what we're going to do is we're going to hop in a second as soon as everyone gets their hero. And then we're going to see the first game of the day, boys. Who do you think's going to take it?
EG, I think, are my favorites.
EG?
Yeah, considering how Sigma's been playing so far.
Well, yeah. I think a lot of it's their drafting, though. I think this is probably one of the better drafts that they've had.
Well, I'm just going off what I've seen. And
Okay.
from what I've seen, I'm not too...
That's fair.
Do you think this is one of the better drafts? But I agree with you that they still have got outdrafted in a sense.
Oh, in a way,
I
yeah.
like EG's draft much better.
Well, I guess we're going to find out here soon. The global presence really is what kind of bothers me the most, because Sigma is going to have this kind of a lineup where you're going to have... Okay. You know what, man?
We're trying to be professional here. And we have this.
Damn it, Bruno! Take your bubbles
done?
and go wanting.
Bruno, you done?
I think he's
Okay.
sad now. He's just hanging his head and walking to the other side of the stage. But I don't even remember what I was saying.
No.
He is
I don't think anybody cares what we're saying.
really good at distracting.
Yes.
Like A+, #1. Anyway, we are in the game, guys, so we're going to go ahead and hop in.
Prepare for battle.
First game of the day, and there's already... Are you, like, drunk tired? Is that what it is? Because that happens to me. I'll get so tired that I actually just start getting, like,
Hyper.
hysterical,
Yeah.
you know? And you just start laughing at everything that happens, and just you get amused so easily. Is that where you're at right now? You don't know? I got the shrug. It's fine. This is fine. Good luck, Kira.
Okay, so you said pass is the lowest GPM of the day.
If they lose the
That's
game.
his prediction,
Yeah.
Okay.
So one interesting thing right off the back is that
30
normally
seconds to battle.
Miguel is Sigma's offlane player, and Sock is their carry player. Looks like they have swapped things up. Miguel's going to be playing the carry-like in this case, and Sock on the Batrider.
I don't think I've ever seen Miguel play Batrider.
Maybe that's why he's not playing the Batrider.
He's a Slark player, man.
What's
that's
wrong
all-
with Slark player?
That's all he's got. He's just a Slark
Man,
player.
every time you say, "Oh, he's a Slark player," I don't know if that's supposed to be insult or anything because you just don't back it up. It's like it's self-explanatory.
Honestly, I actually kind of suck at Slark because I always miss the leap, like every time.
Well, you're better than Loda because Loda today missed a leap and
It wasn't great.
it was just like the guy was sprouted. We ain't
He's not
moving.
going anywhere.
You know what happens though is people have a tendency to click like on or near the trees instead of just
Oh, and the
clicking in front
pathing?
of it. Yeah, and
Yeah,
it turns you. So I guess I can kind of see that. I wish it didn't work that way though. I wish it would just run you in a straight line until you hit a wall.
Yeah.
And then you would just have to manually move around. You know, I think that like makes the most sense. But
Do you remember when people were invis in corridors and it used to make you freak out before you even walked into it?
yeah, that was annoying. That was crazy annoying because of the way that it like detected collision, so
Yeah.
you would actually move in a different direction. But
It's almost like you could feel them in the bush.
yeah. So, bottom lane, it's not really great for Universe.
no.
He's having a tough time. It's bad. It's real bad. But he lives.
He went Iron Shell first. I usually get screamed at by my teammates if I do that.
Yeah, but he goes Iron Shell first in this lane because there's no real way for them to disable him that hard. Like, they're going to have poison. Actually, no, he doesn't even have poison touch. He has Shadow Wave. So, yeah, there you go. That's
But, I
pretty
mean,
much why he skilled it. Or did he do it pre-seeing the lane?
I mean, I guess you expect the defensive trialing, but in any case, chilling touch is really what made it so close in terms of getting that kill, which is actually insane damage output on 3 heroes.
It used to work on illusions, Chilling Touch, didn't it?
Does it?
It used to. It doesn't anymore.
No, it doesn't work on illusions.
I don't believe that.
That would be ridiculous. Because then you'd be able to pick something like Naga Siren and just,
No, it doesn't now, but I'm pretty sure at one stage it did.
I don't know, man. That sounds bonkers.
It's an
But this is Dota.
illusion.
I've seen worse things happen.
I've seen a bug with United We Stand and there being like 100 meepos in the screen.
Did
'cause
you see the
picked
one
it.
where you could move your fountain?
Yeah.
Like, if you can move the
That
fountain,
was with
what can't you do?
Chronosphere, right?
Yeah, on Earthshaker.
Yeah, okay. That's pretty bonkers. You just move the fountain up your middle lane and then suddenly the other team just can't do anything. It's like, well,
Forward!
You know, I actually miss the fact that you could destroy fountains. In Dota 1, you just like
Yeah.
win so hard you blow up their fountain.
I don't think I've ever done that in Dota 1.
There's a professional team that actually did it. I think it was like Zenith or something. Just camp their base after they destroy the fountain. In any case, looks like we have a double damage Earthshaker running on top lane. Sock Might be a little bit of trouble. He does have Firefly, so yeah, he does
Missed
Yeah.
it for sure.
lift off and
Yeah, I guess to be fair, it didn't matter.
yeah.
So let's talk about the matchups, just because I don't think we've actually walked or ran through them, I should say. But it's Fata on Invoker versus Arteezy's Tinker. This is a matchup that I think, honestly, is a bit difficult for a Quaswex Invoker, just because your base damage is pretty low in comparison to what a Tinker has. And even though you might not necessarily get harassed out of lane, you're going to have a really hard time actively going for CS.
Whoa.
And Fata in trouble. The first blood comes out. PPD comes in from the side, snipes. A very, very nice block there on middle lane. And EG getting that first blood. My
That's
boy
the kind of
Arteezy.
start you want on Tinker. Like, oh, you need them boots of travel. That's like your core item, Soul Ring boots of travel.
Yeah.
If you get that fast, you can just control the whole map at the start again.
Yeah, Shane, something you brought up is, when you go for that Quaswex build, you generally shouldn't get ganked, but when PP gets that nice roam, gets a perfect block, easy
That
laser.
was beautiful, though.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't just PPD's perfect block. It was Arteezy also laying down a bunch of physical harass against the Quas regen and then finishing off with that 2 points in laser. Salve's going to get cancel, unfortunately for him, but he's already doing the bottle crow. And if you ever watch Arteezy stream, that should be a very, very familiar sight. This man bottle crows a lot.
The thing is, if you're playing mid and you're not an Invoker, you kind of have to bottle crow. That's just it. Because most of the heroes on the map don't necessarily need the courier in the first 5 to 7 minutes of the game, typically, unless somebody's going Midas. And I don't think the bounty
Darkseer might
hunter is
need it
going to
in
be
the
going
offlane.
Midas. Well, sure, but he'll only need it once, right? And then you can just bottle crow the other time, so you can just go for the runes, assuming where you know where the supports are on the other team. So I think for Arteezy, it's going to be quite easy actually to bottle crow this game, or at least maintain some semblance of rune control.
Actually, what's your thought about Invoker getting a bottle in the mid lane?
I don't really think it's necessary as Quaswex. Typically, what I do at least on Invoker is I go 2 Quas and 4 Wex. That way, anytime you EMP, you pretty much get the mana cost back for EMPing. And that way, you don't really need the bottle for mana regen. And since you have Quas, as long as
For
you're not
HP
actively trading, you just never have to leave the lane. So
Okay.
What I did a few times on Invoker is I stacked the medium camp and got the 4 camp with they all have mana. What are
The big camps?
No, it's
Satyrs, right?
The Satyrs, yeah.
Ah.
And then I'll EMP it, and then you get all the mana back.
Yeah, pretty nice. Speaking of EMP, Arteezy takes ones to the face, but I mean, at this point, harassing Arteezy is not going to accomplish much, and you're not really going to kill him just with Invoker alone. So, what is Fata's plan here? Is he just going to trade last hit?
I mean, that's really all he can do. He can try to counter gank for any tower dives, and he can sit here and he can try to get some levels, finish his phase boots, which I think are actually coming out right now, and just get some levels. Because Invoker, even if you're not Exort, is still very level reliant. Doesn't matter what build you go, you really, really do need levels.
Do you think being Tinker as Dire is harder than as Radiant because of the Ancient stacking?
I think being Tinker on Radiant is way easier, yeah. Because you can actually stack the Ancients yourself without even leaving the lane. If you just march, there's a little edge that you can use
If you
right
grind-
about there, yeah.
grind up
and
on
you
that
can
edge.
just use your march there. But Arteezy taking some damage middle, EMP, Cold Snap going to be used. He's going to be in some trouble. Fata wants to go for the kill. He does have phase, and the Wolf gets the last hit. Miggle with the downtown assistance.
Yeah.
Very nicely done.
I mean, Wolves now get invisibility at level 3 instead of level 4, so you could do that much sooner level 5 versus level 7. And they definitely do 80 cold snap damage, and of course, with the phase mobility, was able to track down Tinker. Nicely done.
Yeah, it's really important that Fata gets that kill too, because I believe he was still in experience range, because now he's halfway to level 8. And Arteezy is actually almost a full level behind him now, which is a bit troublesome. And speaking of trouble, he's going to spot out PPD in the river, and PPD is actually going to take the regen. I probably would have saved it, to be honest, especially considering he has 2 clarities, even though he expended that fissure, but it's a small thing. It's not huge.
Getting regen on Tinker when you have rearm, you just sit in middle and just press your spells.
Well, he doesn't have it.
Yeah, he doesn't have
so.
rearm yet, but if you did have it, it's hilarious.
I mean, when the man is bottom crowing all day, you got to give the support some love. It's like,
Yeah, I think he had full mana actually.
no, he fissure first.
Yeah, but he had full mana before.
I think he was just preemptively fissuring to make sure that the Invoker wasn't coming, because they don't have any vision mid.
Here it is again.
Yeah. Fata actually throws another Cold Snap. The Wolves are there too.
Uh-oh.
Look at the damage.
Damn.
He can't even get a spell off. There's 3 points in Quas right now, and I think that is just enough to actually stun lock.
Bot lane, though.
Kill bottom, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like he might get a double kill. It looks like Pasta is using that grave trying to save himself. Meanwhile, Universe very low as well. He's trying to outrun this. He does have a teleport scroll. Where's that tornado from long range? There's nothing, because well, Invoker's on the mid lane. I saw.
You thought Miggle was Fata.
Yeah, I thought Miggle
I was
was
like,
Fata.
wait a minute, that's not an invoker.
Yeah. I was like, somebody's rotating. Good stuff.
That is actually very tough to deal with if you're a Tinker. I mean, what is your out there? If you get cold snapped and you have 2 wolves hitting you, you just die.
Yeah.
Should he sentry up middle lane?
Well, I think Earthshaker need to drop a sentry mid, and then RTZ hopefully could push out. Oh, here
not
comes
again.
the gank on the mid lane. RTZ, they're going to get Lasso back. He is going to be dead for sure. The TPs are coming a little bit too slowly. I think after the first gank that has happened, PPD just sits on mid lane and protect RTZ. Especially how the playstyle of EG goes, where RTZ is a big part of the carrying
They're
class.
focusing very heavily on him.
And as they should. I mean, RTZ is such a good player that it demands that focus. Bot lane though, Fear.
Yeah, first track kill of the game. Here comes Miggle, though. He's got Shapeshift on. There's a slow coming out as well. Haas does not actually have any detection at the moment. There's going to be an Ion Shell and a Surge. He wants to continue chasing a Universe, but this is going to be fading a little bit soon. Pos is going to be going down, though, in the meantime. Oh, nice Grave.
He's dead regardless, I think.
Yeah, he's
Where's the
definitely
heal?
gonna die.
Poison touch. Is Fear gonna die under the tower? He's gonna go into the tower range, into the trees, and that'll be okay. There's no TP. Meanwhile, on the back line here, Migos dropping low. Migos dead, and the poison is not gonna take him down.
He was fine.
That was a close call.
Where's the escape plan?
The escape plan is yell at your team to push the wave really hard so he can actually get out of the tower range.
I don't know about
can
this.
invis, he can invis.
Ooh, he got it. Nicely done. Yeah, he used the phase boots to make sure that his invis was out of range of the tower by the time the auto attack goes off, because it will still disjoint. So
We Americans are not famous for having escape plans, but that was pretty well done.
we also ask for directions a lot.
Do we?
Or maybe that's just a guy thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I do that all the time. When I got here, I had to get on some underground train in the airport, and I didn't have a clue what I was doing. Asked some lovely Swedish girl, and she showed me the way.
Huh? Did it go anywhere after that?
No, you. What does that mean? Dirty bastard.
I just gave you a perfect segue to tell a story.
That's true.
But I
It
wasn't
could've been
gonna
story time with
lie.
Shane.
I wasn't gonna lie.
Well, nobody would have known that you were lying.
I would have known.
Oh man, the morals on this guy, unbelievable. Top, we can see Saksha's getting a little bit low here, going against Zai versus one another solo assumption. He's actually going to get the kill. The solo kill from the Visage onto the Batrider.
I really like the way that EG has been playing for the last 2-3 minutes. The first key thing is, as soon as you turn level 6 on Bounty Hunter, doesn't matter if safe lane or not, you get a gank. You get a free gank.
Fata smoke.
And not only that, he got 2 ganks in a row. Here comes Fata, smoked up, wants PP, did the cold snap though, not in range, but guess what? Bounty Hunter is in range, and he's gonna go right on Fata. Fata taking a ton of damage out to half HP. He's still chasing PPD, they want him dead, and I think they are gonna get him.
Track speed, man.
Oh man, the poison.
Radiant's
Yeah,
middle
he's
tower is under attack.
But that kill was outside of experience range for
so
the
close,
Invoker.
yet so far. I do like the movement though, because now they can see Miggle all the time. nice creep snipe there from Fear.
Cheeky
But
bastard.
because of the fact that they're all on
Top lane
Sigma
though.
side of the map, yeah,
Yep, he did.
very, very dead Visage.
Yeah,
Unfortunate.
The cool thing with Fear leaving the lane is it allows Zai to get that level 6 and giving him the experience to get that one solo kill himself. But
Yeah,
looks like
Fear
that
snipes
right
the courier as well inside of the woods.
He's doing work here.
There's a lot going on in this game.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a ton of kills like we saw the other day, but there's a lot of movement. There's courier snipes. It's just potential action could be happening everywhere. And oh man, there's going to be probably a dive here on the bottom lane.
I think
They
that's a
sense it.
sentry ward that's being placed by the Radiant. Yeah, so they do see
yeah,
Bounty
they see
Hunter.
him. Yeah. And
But the
suddenly
problem
Fear's
is,
like, oops.
the problem is you see him, but what are you gonna do about it? Like you don't actually have that good of a
Fata's
lockdown.
coming in though.
Okay.
Did they try to go for this? Maybe an early tornado
blast.
EMP is going to be there.
Ooh,
That's
cold
actually going to
snap.
land on Universe.
Beautiful.
He's going to get dropped. Now they want to go for PPD. PPD's totally out of mana. Track onto Fata just so they can run away a little bit faster. And there is a reaction from Zai. He's down here as well.
Tower is under attack.
Meanwhile,
But this is all just time that they're buying for their Tinker to try to recover from the early game. So
well, who's buying time for who though? Right now, what I see is Migo forcing a glyph on tier 1, and they're gonna get at this tower regardless. I think.
RTZ's coming in. He's going to do some damage. He probably
Laser.
wants to go for the deny. He's going to force the shapeshift. Tower is in deny range.
Oh, siege unit. Oh, here
Yeah.
comes
Here comes Sakshka.
yeah, that should
Yeah, it's
guarantee the.
That's a TP coming in from Fear regardless.
Wait. Was that the first tower of the game and no one got it?
Dyer's top
Yeah,
tower.
no, nobody
Sorry,
got
Bruno.
it.
Creep Swan.
First tower of the game, no one killed it. Creeps.
I would have picked creeps by the way.
Everybody loses.
What happened to that Valve strat where you lose a very bad pub game, but you get Arcana drops? Like yes, everybody
Dude, I
wins,
wish
right?
that's how it worked.
Oh,
I'd be a
you would have
millionaire.
like 45 Arcana by now.
I really
right?
would.
Yeah.
At one stage, I had like a 45%
If
win
I
rate.
could actually have like $1 for every game that I've lost, where I've been like 20-2, it's not great, man.
I don't still understand how you lose games when you're 20.
Dude, ask Bruno. I lose spectacularly.
Did we lose
I'm
every
like the
game we played today?
Cloud9 of pub gamers. Yeah, pretty much. Oh, Miggle in trouble. No shapeshift. He's trying to run away from Fear. Oh, here comes the Ice Blast, but not going to make contact, so.
Fear is going to be filthy rich very soon.
I'm just gonna say Fear is probably one of the best bounty hunter I've ever seen. Like it just so to the T. Never actually farming in lane after level
Sentry
6.
dropped. He could be overextended a tiny bit here. Look at the
Nah.
damage on that Janata, though. He wants to keep going.
Still
The
has
Cold
DD.
Feet's not going to proc. He's behind enemy lines here. Thoth in the meantime picks off Universe. Grave going to be used. Pos wants to be able to get away from this,
Crack
but
him
these
up.
supports, they can't do anything about him. They're just walking back and forth saying, I don't know what I'm supposed to do about this. And they're just giving away kills. So 7-8 right now in favor of EG.
I'm just lost for word how impressive this bounty hunter is.
Visage is still farming in the top lane.
This is a space creator, man. I'm telling you.
Like all of a sudden Artesia has bots in a soul ring bottle. Like after what, like 9 minutes he didn't have anything?
Yeah, that was the 3 consecutive ganks, 2
Yeah.
Wolves ganks and a Bat Rider that came in. And Old Man Fear creating that space.
For the youngins.
The thing is, though, to keep in mind is that even though he's technically making room for the Tinker, and that's all well and good, they haven't gotten any map control, really. They're kind of just sitting in their opponent's woods without killing any of the tier 1s. Like, bottom is still alive at around half health. Mid is pretty much in the same boat. And, yeah, top is
Radiant's
more or less
bottom
the same,
tower
too.
is
So,
under attack.
no towers really being taken at all. It's just a lot of aggression, and Fata buys a very, very early gem. Or, well, not him himself. Fucking Matt actually bought it for him. But he's carrying it. He's got a 4-staff, too.
They're sick of this Fear lad.
Yeah.
And the Wolves as well, actually. Oh, never mind.
The next time Fear decides to play super cocky, he's going to be in for a surprise.
Well, I think he should know that there is a...
Well, now he knows, probably, because
The
they're
jig's up.
doing that dewarding thing, and there's Visage Birds over there.
Kill them birds.
All this gold from the wars.
Oh, Fear. He is invis. He's going to spot out 2 of the supports from Sigma. I don't know necessarily, like, what the game plan is necessarily for EG, because this isn't a hard carry. Like, Bounty is not a hero who is going to translate well into the ultra late game. And Arteezy has had a very, very bad time. He's recovering well, but he hasn't really been involved in any of the action. He's just idly farming. He's not even pushing out the waves. He's just, you know, sitting in the woods. I mean, now he's pushing, but...
The way that Cloud9 lost to EG when EG drafted this basic strat is to keep creating space the way that EG has been doing until your Tinker gets so far out of control with Blink, Hex, Dagons, and then just have that Tinker basically pop stomp. Like, I don't have any better ways to say it.
So the Tinker is the carry.
Yeah, Tinker is actually the true carry. I mean, they look like they have teamfight hero in the form of a Darkseer and Earthshaker, but the way I remember it, that game never had a teamfight. It was just easy killing people all over the place. But again, the key thing is those tier 1 towers, and they're still standing for Sigma. In fact, Sigma is applying pressure in terms of tower control, so I think Sigma is playing this quite okay, despite the fact that I think there was 3 or 4 track kills already given to EG.
Miggle's just got to get his Necro book. I think he's actually going Treads first, which, I mean, the belt could be either way, honestly, but we'll see what the choice is going to end up being. The thing with Tinker, though, is against a team with an Invoker, like, we saw what happened when he gets cold snapped.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's really not a whole heck of a lot you can do about it, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him just go for something like a Force Staff instead of a Blink, just so he has an escape mechanism for that particular situation, because if anything arises where he gets hit and cold snapped, if he has a Blink, it's useless because he's not going to be able to blink away. But at least if you have a Force Staff or a Ghost Scepter, you can potentially avoid that ridiculous incoming damage.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's going to have the freedom to really play that way, you know, like the way that you were saying that he played against Cloud9. And by the way, the pause is actually, it's done, so we're going to be able to hop back inside of the game. But yeah, I have my doubts about how well he's going to be able to carry this just as a one-core Tinker.
So if I'm in RTC's position, I would totally agree with you. I would get the Force Staff. But that's because I don't have confidence in terms of my reaction and control.
Right.
I think RTZ is a caliber player that can get away with the Blink Dagger. And if you have to choose between one or other, I think Blink is just better for a Tinker in terms of precise
Yeah.
and instant mobility.
Yeah, and then you can split push with it as well.
Yeah, exactly. The other day, I think, as we see Ice Blast going on the bot lane just to do a little bit of damage, Mego being forced back. The Fidget's going to hit on effing Matt. It blocked it out, though. Effing Matt's actually safe into this choke one. He's going to go right on Fear.
He's like, hold on a second. I'm fine.
Yeah, the other day, I think Dendi played a Tinker against...
Fata going in. EMP. But he's actually just going to back up. Doesn't want to try to go for it.
But Fear, he's on the back line trying to hunt off one of these supports. I don't think he's going to find too much of anything. Yeah. There's just way too much detection. If a tornado hits, that haste rune's going to get dispelled, and Fear might be in a little bit of trouble.
I think he's going to be okay. Fata's going to run into this ward as well.
Free ward.
Yep.
Yeah, this gem actually has done quite a bit. Not only has it ward off the bounty hunter, de-ward a lot of Zai's precious placed wards on the back line.
Yeah, I really love the early gem. That is enormous against a team where, let's be honest, Fear has pretty much been the one making most of the room for Arteezy to recover. So by shutting that down and not giving up your tier 1, Sigma are playing this, I think, exactly the way they need to stay in the game.
Yeah, pretty smart play from Sigma. And there's a Blink Force Staff already up on the Bat Rider, so he's doing quite well. The Necro Books are coming
use it that much, though.
I think he got one gank on Tinker mid, and that's it, yeah. But if this goes slowly and goes a long game, do you say that it favors Sigma a little bit more with the Lycan pick?
I think it does, just because of the fact that the Lycan can punish a lot harder for winning team fights than EG's lineup can. I mean, the push comparison between the two, one team spams out waves, which is EG, and then the other team is able to actually kill the towers as soon as they get to him because they have a Lycan. So, in that regard, it's very similar to what I would refer to as like the Tiny effect, where Tiny just kills your base instantly as soon as you lose a fight. I think Sigma kind of have that going for them, and we're going to see a lasso on top. It's actually going to be on Zai. He's pulled behind the tower. Reaction coming in from EG. Looks like they want to try to pursue this at least a little bit. Fata's going to be taking quite a bit of damage. They desperately want that gem off of him, but Visage does drop in the meantime. Tier 1 going to be secured. Fear manages to get it. Yeah.
Oh, he's going deep.
They want to go for him. Nice tornado. The birds are going to get the kill. No one to pick up the gem. Looks like EG are going to be able to take it back, and Universe secures it.
I think that was a crucial mistake for Sigma. I mean, they got the one pick off against the Visage, and they lost the tower for that. Either you retreat as a team, or you fight as a team. And
I think that was past TPing in, and then he cancelled it at the last second.
Oh, is that what happened? Yeah, I think Invoker being the one caught out is so important, because that gem is... We just talked about how vital it is for the team. Mego's going to survive here on the mid lane.
Shapeshift too strong, man.
Yeah. Yeah, now that with the gem gone, it allows EG to continue to do what they've been doing, which is, controlling the map with the bounty hunter.
Yeah, I'm really surprised, actually, because even if that was a 4v4 and there was a canceled TP, I can't imagine why the rest of the team would be just, let's run right away without even, trying to help Fata, because if I'm a support in that situation and I see my Invoker who has a gem is about to die, I run in front of the other team and say, take me, I don't understand why no one helped him.
There's also something to do with the gem. We can see the AA blast before it hits. Or something.
Yes, that's an excellent point. With True Sight, you see the blast coming in.
Yeah. He's grand.
It's fine. I don't know, man. It's close.
Yep.
That gem is pretty big, huge.
It's bad for them, and not only that, but now it's Arteezy's Tinker gets an Aegis on top of that, and he's going for a Hex. He's already got the ultimate orb, and he did go Blink, so Lumi was right. He trusts himself enough to be in the right spots at the right time. Maybe I'm just using the Aegis. Nope, don't trust myself. Just gonna buy a Force Staff. Here comes the lasso on Fear top. Sakshka and Nigel are both here. Sakshka didn't secure the kill.
I mean, in an even worse situation, the other day, Dendi played his Tinker against a Spectre, and I was like, oh, this is a 4-staff game. Yeah. You just concentrate Blink, so... I mean, I guess you just go Blink all the time, but,
you want to shift Q it. It's the fastest thing for the split.
Yeah. It's actually just so good. I think they're trying to set up a gank career for Zai on the top lane. Lasso is on cooldown for 43 seconds, so I'm not sure how they're going to get this gank off, but they're here.
Well, I mean, if he gets stickied a few times and Miggle pop shapeshift, I think it would be pretty easy. But looks like they're just going to go for the tier 1 instead, which is fine. Teleport coming in from Arteezy. They want to try to go for Zai. Cancel TP and Arteezy. Not going to be any backup for this poor Visage. He's going to teleport to the catapult in the back, but his teammate's going to be dead by the time he gets here. Now Arteezy wants to try to fight this 1 versus 2. DPD is on the back lines, ready to throw a fissure if necessary.
Arteezy didn't actually cancel the TP. The tower died.
Tower died, yeah, but
it does cancel with bits of trouble.
Yeah, okay.
Meanwhile, Fata on the bottom lane. Looks like he's going to be going for a quick Orchids. He's trying to ghost walk past here. I think he is somewhat detected. By the way, is gem online? Yeah, the gem is online, and it's on Universe.
He's got a Force Staff. I think he's going to be fine.
He's fine until the Hex comes out.
Yeah, that blink forward Hex. And
yeah.
It's all sadness, basically, from then on out.
I mean, there is a couple answers for Sigma against Hexes. For example, the Force Staff on the Bat Rider is one way to deal with that. A Gray from Pos. And possibly just a clutch tornado, lifting everybody in air. That would be good enough as well. But Sigma, at this point in the game, they have a window about 5 minutes or so to do something big before the Hex comes online. Because once that Hex comes online, I think it's very easy for EG to find random pickoffs and then just take tier 1 towers, tier 2 towers. So Sigma needs to do something and do something soon.
My question is, what is the game plan for them? I mean, they can potentially go for pickoffs on the Tinker because they have a Bat, and they could just use AA ulti and Bat Rider ulti to just kill him straight up. I think even just those two things would probably kill him.
Or just a cold snap, like you said earlier.
Yeah, I mean, a cold snap is nice, but it's kind of optimistic to think that you'll be able to do that without having some other form of initiation, So you'll need like the backup to do so. Teleport coming in. Arteezy's going to throw out some rockets and a missile, or a laser, I guess.
I mean, we're saying about ganking Arteezy. Arteezy is teleporting in front of his entire team.
He does not care.
Yeah, he just doesn't care. It's like, yeah.
He still has the Aegis, in fairness.
That's true. That's definitely true.
Yeah, he knows they can't commit. And at this stage, I think they're probably going to sacrifice this tier 1. Teleport coming in. Sakshika is going to be the one. He does have that blink dagger if they want to try to pursue this, but it's really hard to blink into March.
How do you blink into the Tinker when you have 2 birds protecting him, a layer of March, the rockets coming forward, the track to give vision?
Everyone get blade mail and run into it like heroes.
That is the plan.
Necro 3 is up on Lycan. That's pretty big.
It is. Nice tornado. EMP coming out as well. Zai going to be losing the majority of his mana. Cold snaps there from Fata as well. Lasso onto Universe. Fissure actually missed. Here comes the Ice Blast. Lands on 2. Fear and Universe both in some trouble here. All of a sudden, Sigma having quite a bit of momentum during this fight. The Panic Echo Slam from PPD. He's like, please get this Wolf the heck off of me. Arteezy coming in from the side, but he has absolutely no mana. And the Wolf's trying to chase down Zai. Miggle, he's dropping quite low as well. He's going to be trying to run. Shapeshift wears off. He's going to go for a Wolf body block. Perhaps Arteezy just chasing him down. Sakshika actually gets a kill inside of the base on Zai at the same time. And Miggle ends up going down as well. Book and Wolves chasing on Arteezy.
Fear is chasing Bat Rider on the top.
Yeah, he's got Firefly. He's got Firefly soon. Fly off, my friend. There is track, so he has complete vision. But off the map he goes now. The birds could actually go off the map and keep chasing. Where's the blink? Use the blink, my friend. Oh, can they go off the map?
Oh my god.
I guess they kind of can.
This is hilarious.
Ice Blast. Oh my god,
so
Fear.
Close.
So I think that team fight, we saw how mobile that Tinker with the Blink Dagger can be. He first picked off, I think it was Invoker on top of the river, and then he chased down the Lycanthrope, 2 of the very fastest here on Team Sigma. I think Team Sigma needs to actually just chase the Tinker down. Because yes, he has a Blink Dagger, but like we've been talking about, 1 Lasso, 1 Cold Snap, 1 Ice Blast, any of these spells just could weaken him, disable that Blink, and pick him off. He is so squishy at this point. There is that Aegis, so it makes things a little bit more complicated.
He's only 700 gold from Hex as well.
Yeah.
That could change the game a lot, I think.
I mean, who do you think won that team fight? As we see a backdoor attempt of these birds on the tier 1 tower.
It's really hard to say, actually, who got the better of that exchange, because that was just a very aggressive move from Sigma, and they didn't get, like, anything massive out of it. The tier 2 got denied by TPD.
And the glyph came out?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. That was.
Well, they have bounty hunters, so that's always a small advantage.
I say that's a big advantage.
You get the extra track gold, which is definitely good, but yeah, I guess AG came out ahead. Maybe including the aftermath of the fight, not just the fight itself.
So what do you think Fear will go for here? He has his Vlads.
BKB.
Yeah.
That's been his build. You go both gold drums and Vlads.
Oh, he found fucking Mad in the woods.
Rockets?
Rocket. I think
he did.
Oh.
He did?
Oh, it is. Wow. It's actually more damage than I thought it was. It's 243.
He's only an ice cream. He can't take too much rockets.
Oh, here comes a Hex.
That's true.
So one thing I noticed about Arteezy, the way he plays his Tinker, is that he actually does take level 3 rearm. There is a build that you just don't take rearm just for the sake of having...
You get like 2 points.
Yeah, more manageable mana.
Yeah.
But this man, he could manage his mana.
He has the Hex. If you have a Dagon, it's kind of different. Like
I mean,
Hex.
even with the Hex, sometimes you leave it at level 2. Like, it soaks up so much of your mana.
Oh man, he's smoked up top and he has the Hex too.
There you go. Fata's...
What? Just drops
farming
a
ball.
casual meatball and walks away.
Yeah.
It's like, alright.
And he's Quas Wex as well, so probably does like 2 damage.
Nice awareness though.
Unfortunately for Fata, like, I really like Orchid on Invoker. I just don't think this particular Orchid is going to have much impact in this game.
I think that he's getting the Orchid not just for the silence effect, but because he realizes that having some more physical damage to the team isn't necessarily a bad thing, because Miggle is the only source of it as it stands right now.
Yep.
And if you cold snap Orchid somebody, like on EG, they can't do anything about it. I mean, even Darkseer, for example, I mean, he's probably one of the tankier ones.
He's got a 4-staff.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a 4-staff, but no one else can really do anything but him.
To be fair, like, there's a lot of pseudo damage coming out from Sigma with things like Chilling Touch and Howl. So the team does actually right-click pretty hard in the right circumstances, but we haven't really seen that yet.
And Necrovolks always increase your right-click damage.
Yeah.
So
And the Vlads.
yeah, true.
Yeah, they actually do have some right-click damage. I think at this point, Fata, when he sees the birds, it's time to get out. Oh no, he thinks he's doing these cool stuff. Oh. But here comes the Ting.
He blinked backwards. He's not going to go in.
And with the Ghost Walk. I think Fata is fully expecting this. Yeah, he is. And that's Orchid Goal, I believe.
Yep. He's got more than enough, actually.
The birdies.
Well, now he knows that there's a sentry there, because the birds just attacked him, and Sakshika is going to get a little bit of that treatment as well. But EG are doing a really nice job of maintaining the map control right now. It's important for them to keep the waves off their side of the map, just in case any team fight does go awry. That's just a strength of having a Tinker, is ensuring that there's always going to be lanes that have to be pushed out after an engagement. So being able to keep the map positioned this way for EG is always going to be to their advantage.
Especially against a Lycan, who can just like destroy everything in seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think right now, both Fata as well as Sok, it's been constantly trying to find that Tinker. No, they do find him now, but the Blink Dagger coming on the backside. Sok just gets blown up because of those Visage Birds. The AI Blast does hit Arteezy down to about half HP. I think he's actually going to go down here. He doesn't have Aegis or anything. Oh, he does get a Hex off before dying, but here comes Universe as well as PBD as well as Fear. The track's going to go on. Paz is dropping low. No Grave. Big dunk coming out from the Earthshaker. They do get a couple more kills, and I think EG handily wins that team fight. Tinker comes right back after a buyback. He wants more. The Blink, where's the Hex? Fata is so fast with that Phase and Wex.
Yeah, and Arteezy actually blinked the wrong way. It was nighttime, so he didn't have vision of Fata running straight back to the tier 2. I think he was probably going for the extra kill, but at the very least, they're going to be able to get a tier 2 here, I think. There's only 2 heroes alive. Nice Tornado coming out from Fata, doing still a reasonable amount of damage. And there's 3 birds out because of the Aghanims on Visage, so...
Yeah, that's when Fear rotated and gave the farm to the Visage early in the game.
That's going to hurt, man.
Yeah.
That Ice Blast.
Grand.
Yeah, so, I mean, EG doesn't have a carry, but all these fights they're taking, they're not actual true team fights, right? It's very scrappy, it's back and forth, and I think that really favor heroes such as Bounty Hunter, Visage Birds that are everywhere, and more importantly, a Tinker with a Blink Dagger. Because in a true 5v5 team fight, you want things like big AoE spells like Vacuum and Tornado and Ice Blast and all that stuff. But when it's one fight here, one fight there, you really want the Blink Tinker. And that Blink Tinker is...
He's everywhere.
Yeah, he's doing so much work.
I think that was about as close to a full-on 5-on-5 as we've gotten this whole game.
Yes.
So, with that being said, they did manage to isolate Arteezy pretty quick, and he bought back. And honestly, it was a bit of a waste, because they didn't really get anything, particularly out of the buyback. And Paz, just good night, man. You are not getting away from... Oh, maybe he will. Wow, Arteezy didn't fully commit. Maybe he was just worried that they were more behind...
the Ice Blast.
More behind Paz, yeah. That scare tactic, man. Worked out. I thought he would actually go for that.
I would have went for it. I would have. The blood would have been just rushing to my head.
The bloodlust. You're just like, get the kill.
That's probably why I'm bad at Dota.
It's easy to get caught up in the moment, man. Happens to the best of us. Roshan's up again.
Yep. The scoutings are coming out from Wolf, but Fair does have that gem available, so they can see the invisibility. I mean, I think this is something that you said once before. Like, when you have a Mexican standoff at the Roshan pit like that, the team would Tinker, Furion, is a
Bot
team
Rider.
that's
Never
well
counter
with a global push, I guess. Is a team that's
Yeah.
eventually favored.
You apply the pressure and force them to rotate.
The real issue lies in the team that has better mobility is always going to win out in the longer duration games most of the time. Oh, PPD getting caught out though. He's going to eat the lasso and the Orchid. Now they want to try to go on Fati. 4 steps away. Vacuum hits on 2. Pops with a very, very early Grave Fear. Pops the BKB. He's continuing to chase. He wants fucking mad. The Rockets though are going to be able to seal the kill. Arteezy gets a double in the meantime. Fata being chased down. Here comes Sakshika. Can they stop Fear from chasing down this Invoker? Here comes the Blink Hex. It's a triple for Arteezy. He's going for more. He doesn't have really any mana left whatsoever, and it's going to be Universe who actually gets the last. And that is a complete team wipe.
Would you call that a team fight?
I mean, it was a team something.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was necessarily a fight.
I mean, like,
they went all in on PPD of everyone. Maybe they were just concerned that they couldn't get a good initiation on Arteezy because
they
of the
can't
fact
find Arteezy.
Yeah, I mean, okay, he's been positioned well. So
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But they even had a ward on the high ground. As soon as you try to commit to a fight, like send somebody else in first besides the bat. Like I don't think the bat can be the first one to initiate unless he sees the Tinker.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle
That's a
tower
problem.
is under
Arteezy
attack.
hasn't been seen. He's playing well. He's positioned well. Now he's got a Dagon. The strength of this lineup is also something that we haven't discussed is how well they chase. With a single track, the Vision's there, the Rocket's going to be coming in, the Blink Dagger from the
birds.
The birds as well. Yeah, it's just so much. I think in the last team fight, I really would have liked to see a Yules on the Invoker much more because he tried to get away, but the track is constantly on him. Yules is something that could dispel it if you want to use it. You could.
They have a gem though.
Yeah, but
just
the track speed.
Yeah, you can't go into
Because
fog.
if you ghost walk now and you're not tracked, you'll still run faster than them, even if they have a gem. Like they can see you, but they can't catch you.
Yeah.
But yeah, looks like another free Roshan here for EG.
This is very refreshing. Like going into 32 minutes into the game and say, hey, we don't have a single true hard carry, but through pickoffs, Roshan kills, and more importantly, track kills, they're hanging along. They're just fine. In fact, if we look at the gold, up by 7,500.
Yeah, experience is looking at it to be about the same. The graphs are actually almost identical. It's kind of weird. But that just goes to show how close the game has been up until this point. That one particular fight that we just saw that ended up being a team wipe in favor of EG is kind of where the momentum, I think, is going to start to change. Because now, Sigma are kind of in this panic situation where they want to really try to go for something. And I don't know if they're going to find the opening that they're looking for.
Is under attack.
He's going for the Dagon now for that burst damage.
Yeah, he's got Dagon too.
Per Dazzle. Pass is looking good for... Wait, who has the GPM?
I don't remember what key it is. Let's see. What? I can't. There we go.
Oh.
So 550.
Was it U for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to rekey them. Like GPM's G for me. So
Yeah, that's probably not a bad idea. I should have
gold.
done that at some point. But honestly, I don't spectate my own games that I cast anymore. I only do it for this because the preview monitor is not close enough. But
what a bait! They are going to find him.
He's going to get Orchid. He doesn't have an Aegis. He's going to be able to get the Hex off on Fata. Does quite a bit of damage before he goes down. The birds might be able to secure it, but Fata, he 4 staffs away. And they're not going to be able to get the kill that they were looking for with the birds. But that's a big pick. Like getting Arteezy off the map for 90 seconds.
He used buyback as well, so they have a lot of time.
As good as that pick was, keep in mind that Sigma had looked for that pick for the past 10 to 15 minutes. Like this Bat Rider and this Invoker has been constantly walking around. Yeah, they got a pick, but what are you really going to do for 90 seconds when the creep equilibrium on all 3 lanes are pushed on your side? There's no Roshan to take because it's done. At best, you're just going to push out the lane, and guess what? Round 2, when the Tinker's back alive, is going to happen again. So, good pick. How much does that really accomplish? I'm not sure.
No, I'm in agreement with you. I just think that it's better than nothing.
Yeah, that's I mean, sure.
If they didn't kill him, it would have just been slow suffering, and they probably would have gotten asphyxiated by just getting pushed in every single lane and not being able to really take an engagement. But Miguel's not got his BKB, and he has Book on top of that with his Medallion and his Vlad, so he's getting a pretty decent chunk of farm. The only issue is they don't have any map to really use. It's kind of they're sitting on their side of the map, and the only gank that they've been able to execute, like you said, has been that one on Arteezy. So buying time, not sure it's really going to work out at this point. The supports really are kind of becoming Achilles heel for Sigma because they're dying to the Bounty Hunter and the Tinker Rockets every single fight.
Yes.
So we made this comparison of which team really has the better carry
Radiant's
potential,
top
but
tower is under
it doesn't matter who has the better carry if the rest of the team can't hold their own.
Yes.
You know?
And
They
as
can't live.
as a contrast, if you look at the supports on EG side, the Birds, not the hero, Visage, has been doing so much, not being there. Meanwhile, it looks like we are going to find a pick on Zai. Zai being dragged up on the high ground. He's there, but he's not really dying. Guess what? Tinker's back alive, so I don't think you want to take any extended team fight. Effing Matt gets tracked, and he's like literally dead now. Like, it doesn't matter where he goes, unless he goes back to well, he's dead. And there we go.
Well, he's going to go back to the well, just not necessarily the way he wanted to go. Miggle, he wants to go in. He's going on Fear, pops the BKB. Shuriken going to get the kill on AA. Now Fear on the run, trying to get out, but there is a book 3-4 detection, and Arteezy's going to be able to kill Fata in the meantime. Pop also drops, yep. Aegis now popped. He'll be respawning in just a second. No one else tracked
Tinker's
up just yet. He really wants to go for it. Yeah, he's teleporting in on one of the many random little things that are around here. I don't know if it was a wolf or if it was a bird or
It was
what.
a bird. The wolves are on it.
Yeah.
The way
I meant the wait, what did I mean? I don't know what I meant.
You Necro book maybe? You got
drunk.
confused.
No, the book is on the like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think really Sigma could only win a team fight if they could win it quick. Because as long as these team fights are going longer and longer, it just gives more time for Tinker to go back to base, get mana, come back. And EG is very well equipped to fight long drawn out team fights with things like bounty tracks, giving everybody mobility, the birds flying everywhere, the multitude of force staffs and mechs to keep everybody else alive. So Sigma needs to find that one big EMP tornado ice blast and call it a day. And if not, these team fights will keep going the way they are going.
Is that what you say if you're fucking mad here? That's what you say to your team. We need
Yes. But the problem is their team can't do that. Like, you don't have a Lunar Eclipse or a Vacuum Meteor. I just don't think EG will be caught. And the way that they've been playing, they're never caught as 5. In fact, they're splitting up and farming all over the place.
Yeah, I'm a bit concerned, really, what their game plan is supposed to be because their Invoker went Quas Wex, right? So he doesn't really do a lot of damage with Meteor combos.
He's been level 17 for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes now as well.
Yeah, it's really difficult though because they need to leave the map really for Miggle to farm, and other heroes need farm too. So when you're kind of just stuck on your side of the map and you're trying to recover, you're not getting as much as the other team because EG can farm their jungle, they can continue to push, they can farm even Sigma's jungle because Sigma can't fight them. So all they have to do is aggressively position themselves, and then all of a sudden Sigma just have to sit in their base. I mean, it's not a good spot to be in.
When this Dagon, that's coming into play as well. Oh my god.
It's level 4 now, almost
Nearly
level
5.
The amount of zapping that's going to happen is just not great. And the problem is, heroes like the Dazzle, like Toss, he pretty much insta-dies to them.
Even though he's an Urn on threads, which is pretty...
Like, he will instantly die to Laser Rocket Dagon.
Yeah, as long as there's a track on him, they don't even have to focus him to kill him early. It's just as long as track is on there, eventually he'll just die to some rocket, some form of Blink Hex Dagon. It's sad life, but you can't get trapped.
Yeah, it's not great if you're a support, really, for Sigma. This is the team that really just eats the supports, though. And I think it's a really clever draft by EG in that sense, because, as I said,
Radiant's
like,
bottom
Dazzle
tower
and
is under
AA,
attack.
they don't stand up to Bounty Hunter and Tinker Rockets. Like, you can't be in a good position, ever,
What
against
supports
these types of heroes.
would you have in this case then?
Well, I mean, it's not necessarily about what supports you would pick, it's
Miggle.
just about what style of team you're going to want to go for. And yeah, top Miggle, he's in a bit of trouble here. They're going to eat the vacuum wall on top of everything else, and it's going to be a double kill for Universe. So
Both the
Arteezy
cores.
coming in. Yeah, the birds were here to help out too. So yeah, that's really painful. I think they could just go ahead and snowball this into a tier 2 if they wanted to, but
Radiant's bottom
instead they're going to kill the
tower
tier 2 bottom instead. Yep.
Radiant's top
And Arteezy's going to be
tower is
joining
under
the.
attack.
He leaves the birds top to do the...
Okay.
Get both. Why
All
not
right.
both?
I mean,
Radiant's top
I
tower.
get
don't
it.
think it's
I get it. Yeah.
yeah, it's actually just game.
I understand. There was kind of the sense of they couldn't ever get out of out of the
Up
rut.
until 15 minutes, when they got the gem, they had a bit more in control, and then the Invoker lost the gem top, and all of a sudden it was just like...
It was the gem and tier 1 towers. I think they only lost one tier 1 top. After they lost the gem, everything kind of just collapsed. The tier 1 going down, the Tinker got big.
You know, I really have to commend EG because the style of they played that game, at the beginning, Arteezy was clearly having a hard time. He started out 1-3, right? And they just knew exactly what to do to get him back in the game.
Yeah.
They're like, we're going to just apply pressure, play as 4. They're never going to go onto our side of the map because they have to protect their own side of the map to ensure that Miggle can get farm. And Fata actually has to go to every single fight because the impact that hero has for the team is so important.
Yep.
If he's not there, then they can't do anything. They don't have any early game like super aggression or control that they can really secure kills with. So the fact that they made everyone on Sigma focus on Fear's movement and the rest of the supports of EG to get RT to that time was just, it was fun to watch.
Yep.
So good stuff.
Space created, but the good type of space.
Yeah, the good, not like the I'm going to throw my
Type of
body
space.
into the meat grinder space. But anyway, EG are going to take their first win of the day. Of course, they're going to be playing coming up next as well. So make sure,
Cloud9.
make sure you guys stay tuned. It's going to be EG versus Cloud9 after the break.
Yeah, we talk like this.